and I'm here on board the MSC Seashore, staying in a handicap accessible stateroom 5004. That's 5004. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend. I did not book this stateroom. Let me just say that right off the bat. If you're looking at a handicap room, please make sure that you actually do need that. They are limited on the cruise ships, and you want to leave that for somebody who truly needs to utilize that room. In my case, I book what's called the Bella Experience here on board MSC, and for the last two cruises, I've had the Bella Experience, which is a guaranteed cabin, and this is the cabin that I've been assigned because it was leftover inventory, if you will. But I have really enjoyed this cabin. It is a nicer cabin than a traditional interior. It's got a little bit of differences to it that we're going to talk about, as it is an accessible cabin, but I'm going to walk you through it. But you can already see, for an interior cabin, this place is huge, and I am really enjoying it. It's super quiet. It's been a great stateroom, so if you do have a mobility device or a reason that you need to book one of the handicap or accessible rooms, make sure that you're checking out stateroom 5004 here on board the MSC Seashore. All right, so starting outside of the cabin, the first thing you're going to notice is that the number is a little bit lower. I'll do a comparison to 5008, its neighbor beside of it. You see that I've got two peepholes, and my number is going to be a little bit lower, and it is a wider door that I'm going to have easy access to. Coming down here, we are at the very forward section of deck 5 is where we're at. There are no other staterooms down there on that hall. You've got one 5002 on the other side, and then you're going to have a crew entrance here. And further down, you're going to have what's actually quite a large hallway, and we're about 100 steps away from the staircase or elevator, so it's pretty far if you have a mobility device. You're also going to see a lot of crew members walking through here, as it seems to be an easy access point for a lot of them to be able to get to the crew staircase and elevators to be able to move about the ship. Now, coming into the room, you'll see that it's an interior room, right? But it is on the outside. So on the other side of that wall, you're going to be on the water. The other rooms on this side are all ocean view rooms is what you're going to have, which look really nice that I've walked through. But this room is massive. Let's start over here with the desk. The one good thing that I'll say that I really like about this room is it comes with a desk chair. For a handicap accessible person, having those arms to be able to get up and down is probably a huge win. I will say though that the desk is a lot higher than that. So when I'm sitting in the chair, there's two pillows from the bed that go below me to make that work. I still have the option to sit on the same stool that everybody else has, but you know I like a good back support. You're going to have plenty of mirrors in this room, as always. You're going to have a TV over here that does pivot and move towards the bed, your phone, and then a locked minibar down below. You'll also see I've got my 10-foot cord, mainly because there's not a great plug beside of the bed. This, I think, is a little bit of a miss because it is a newer ship. What they have done, though, is they gave us a USB-A plug over here on the left-hand side. However, I'm traveling with USB-C plugs. I probably have a converter in there, but when I've got my 10-foot cord with me that I take everywhere, I just use it. You'll also see that there is an emergency call button in here. That is something you will not see in other staterooms. If there's a reason that you need help or support, press that and they're going to come check on you. You've got a normal light here as well as a reading light with the switches directly below it. And you can probably say hello to my fly friend that has somehow or another made his way into my stateroom. Coming over to the other side, you'll see that it is the same kind of thing. The nightstand's a little bit small on here, but the room is probably normally smaller itself. And what would an MSC cruise cabin be without a mirror where you can clearly see the bed? I mean, that's a given at this point for MSC. Hey, everybody. And you'll see that I've got my leftovers that I've not quite gone through yet from the Voyagers Club. So if you've not status matched into them, hotel, car rental, they take a lot of different stuff. Make sure you're watching the video to status match into MSC so you can get your macaroons, your bar of chocolate, and your Prosecco that's over there. Coming back over here, I'm going to walk over and show you where we are on the ship. This is something that I always like to do. You see that here is the MSC Seashore. We are all the way down here. See that little red dot right there? It's kind of small. We're at the very forward section of the ship. All of this is going to be crew space that you have. And directly above is the theater, though I've not really heard a lot from the theater at all. You're also going to need to know that your key card does need to stay in here at the master switch. So it does know if it is this card or if it's a credit card or a different kind of card. It's got to read in that system. Otherwise, everything in here is going to be turned off. So that's going to be your lights and your power adapter. So my laptop, when I leave the room, is no longer charging, and if it's running, the battery is going to die. You're also going to have some switches over here. So if I want to tell the stateroom attendant to make up a room, I'm going to press the lower button. If I want to tell him to do not disturb me, I'm going to press the upper button. And I'll pop outside just to show you where that comes out through. So you've got this light system up here. Number one, the red at the bottom means that you are in your cabin. The key card is located in there. But if I remove the key card, that will eventually switch over to green. And then the red is based on the buttons. So if I say clean my room, it switches over to the orange on the other side, and the blue is do not disturb. I would not use those at night. When you go to sleep, turn off the do not disturb and the clean my room because they're super bright, or find a way to cover them up. So that's an issue that I had with those, and so I had to change my position in the bed because I was too lazy to get up and move to fix it. You're also going to see that in the closet, you're going to have a different kind of arrangement here. So because it is accessible, this hanging system here actually will come down. And so it makes it easier to be able to access your clothes, and then you can push it back up and it goes out of the way. What I'll say, and I've got hangers falling out, apologies. I'm one person in this cabin for a 3-night cruise. I'm taking up 80% of what I can get on this rack without taking off the robes. If I took those off, I could get more space, but it would be cramped. I don't know why they didn't do a bar at the top and just a bar down at the bottom that would give you double hanging in there. You also see there's a neat, I like that they have a place for shoes to actually go, and my spare hangers. I'm going to move those out of the way so that I can open up the other side. As I fall over, sorry for the rocky video. But coming over to the other side, you'll see you've got a little bit of storage, some cabinets where you can store your stuff. You've got the safe, and you've got drawers down here on the bottom that are actually pretty long. They're not necessarily very deep, but I've seen worse, but they are really good. But the highlight of this room is going to be your accessible shower. So the first thing you'll notice, there is no step up to get in and out of this room. There's a gradual incline that has you even with this room to be able to step in. And you see that it is accessible. They've got plenty of grab bars if you need those. You've got a stool that you can sit on. You've got your wire here, so if you want to dry some stuff, you can pull that out and attach it to the other side at a lower level, so a level that you can get to if you are lower. You're going to have the same shampoo and same body wash, which I don't recommend. I do not love it. But the shower itself has been really good. The curtain actually goes all the way around, and it is a good space in there, so I'm not getting water all over the place. One thing that I did find interesting, if you have some kind of a disability with your hands, reaching the place to turn the water on here, you've got this pipe that kind of blocks it, so it's tough to get in there to turn it. So just something you may want to be aware of in this cabin. You're going to have another emergency call button. If something happens while you're in the restroom, you can pull on that. And there is the emergency call string over here on the left in the shower as well. Coming back over, I think this is the farthest I've ever been able to get away from a bathroom sink to show you what that looks like. Plenty of shelving over on the left-hand side. I'm making good use of that. And on the sink, where you can put some additional stuff as well. That is a very quick room tour here on MSC Seashore of the handicap accessible stateroom 5004. That's 5004. It has been a wonderful stateroom. I highly recommend it, especially if you have a disability or some kind of mobility issue that you require this room. Please do not book this room if you don't need to book this room. There's plenty of other rooms to go around, but please leave these for people who truly need them. Unless you're like me, you have belly experience, you roll the dice and say, hey, just put me in any room on the ship, and you might get lucky and find yourself in this beautiful handicap accessible room on the MSC Seashore. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon. And if you ever want to join me on a weekend cruise, make sure you're checking out the group cruise newsletter down below.